Warning: what you're about to hear is a story that makes no sense. It is a story that makes no sense on purpose. So if anybody on YouTube is checking this out and he's checking the policies of monetization and stuff, and you're like, yo, this does not make any sense. Our policies say if something doesn't make any sense, then you cannot monetize it. Well, I worked long and hard on this. I had a creative spark. This is genuine work. This is genuine content. This is deliberately not making any sense. And I am making sense right now. So not all of this video is not making any sense, because some of it is making a lot of sense. At least the first minute of this video. So there. You have no reasons to demonetize it or anything else. And to the rest of you, dear wonderful, pretty, and handsome viewers out there, here you have it, a story that just does not make any sense at all. No matter how you look at it, it's just a combination of words. Maybe it's mostly grammatically correct, but it does not really make any sense. But if you're a fan of it, just like I am, I enjoy these stories that just don't make any sense at all. You can just listen to them and just kind of like let your mind wander. This video is for you, so check this out. And one more thing, see? Just because I'm gonna use melodies that are happy and upbeat and joyful and kids might enjoy it, this video is not specifically for kids, just so you know. I'm not breaking any laws, YouTube, okay? So back off, let a guy do whatever he wants, okay? Okay. So yeah, with these disclaimers out of the way, I can finally present you the real content of this video. Man, YouTube's going downhill, I swear. 5 astronauts and a lorry driver went around town to see a boyfriend, and then they decided to go and plant some trees, because you can't have trees without any green stuff lying around the house. And for some reason the golden retriever thought that he used to be some kind of other animal, but the animals around the other animals became rebelling against the animal kingdom of the gods, and then they followed suit and decided to join the military service, where they spent 5 painful years chewing on grass. Yes, you heard me correctly, the grass was green and also the trees were green. Naturally there was a conflict of greenness, you know. Who is the greener one? They fought, and then the two green sides kind of started fighting, and at the end the trees won, but the grass was a close second. Then the clouds joined in, and a lot of battles, well, they just kept on going, battling each other all their lives. And then when they were old and gray, they decided to sign a peace treaty of some sorts. But the rivers revolted. The rivers were revolting, as well as the peasants. And we forgot to talk about the peasants and the tigers and the wild tiger lions and the lion tigers, the two fractions of the groups. So then Italy was like, yo Maine, what's going on, Maine? I am Italy, I'm the best around. Nobody can ever bring me down. So Italy went to Germany, and in Germany Italy just started chilling and started getting real mellow, and started eating a lot of sweets, and then gained weight. And race car drivers decided to pull over and stop to get a drink, but the convenience store was all out of drinks, so they had no choice. They needed to plant a bunch of cacti in the neighborhood and wait a couple of years to find that all these cacti were actually, well, trees. They used the cacti seeds, and now they've got a different plant. So of course nobody can survive that long without water. Who do you take me for? Do you think I'm some kind of person who does not have any logic? Do you think I'm Mr. Spock, who constantly thinks about all of the other Spocks around his neighborhood, just sitting there being jealous of their pointy ears and their crazy haircuts? Right? Don't call me crazy if you're crazy yourself, because two crazies make the crazy friend of my crazy enemy, and all of the other and all of the above. At the end, it all equals out and becomes a very close second in the race of the almighty skate figures figure skaters, and the skittles, skidle, cock-a-doodle doo, Scooby-Dooby doo, yippee-yi-yi-ki-yo. We're in Texas, varmints. We're the cowboys of the Wild West, and we have a lot of finger pointing around here. You point your finger at me, and I will just point my finger at you, and we'll see who can point the longest. And then we start a blinking contest with Blinky Bill. Yes, you heard me right. There's a koala in the neighborhood. It's loose and it's dangerous. It tends to pull over cars and makes the drivers leave their driver's seat, even though they were very comfortable in their driver's seats. But who minds that? Who cares about that, right? Nobody thinks of the driver's seats and the passengers that are also in the car, right? Nobody cares about them. It's all about stealing cars and driving around town and having fun. With your girlfriend, if I was your girlfriend, I'd never be alone. I'd take on all of your problems and call you on my phone. And I would be a doggy and eat a lot of doggy treats and buy a lot of doggy bags, 'cause he's a lunatic. And I'm a guy named Freakazoid. Yes, I am Pink Panda Brain. And I'm trying to be a genius, and I'm trying to be insane. Insane is not a good word. It's not a positive word. That's not a word you should use. That's not a word anybody should ever use unless you meet somebody. You encounter somebody who is definitely insane for sure, who talks words that have no meaning, who tells you stories that don't make any sense. Does that remind you of something? It does not remind me of anything, because I am of a certain variety. And who am I, you ask? I am the narrator, the teller of the story that is absent. There is no story. There is nobody, except for everybody else who I forgot to mention. So let's conclude this story by saying one thing. This has been a very wild ride. It has lasted 5 minutes, and these were the longest 5 minutes of everybody's life. Don't we all agree?